So, welcome everyone to After the Refresher. I am your host, Angelo Garcia III, Principal Industrial Hygienist of Future Environment Design's Training Center. Thank you for turning into our show today. The After the Refresher program will provide you with information and introduce you to individuals who have attended our refresher courses. During today's program, we are happy to introduce our guest today, James Thurston of Abtron Corporation. Hello, Jim. Our guest has attended our supervisor refresher class since 2001. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, Angelo. This is Jimmy. And yes, I've been here since 2001, coming to your office and, learning a whole lot and getting my licenses renewed every year. And because of a lot of the information that you've given us and keep giving us as we've been going through this job needs that come across in the asbestos abatement industry. There's a whole lot going on, and you've kept us over the years, included in what was being changed and what continues to work and what are the best ways to approach these jobs. And you had even sent me something one time. It was, about this woman that was, helping you take a good look at everything. But what I'm learning, that perfection isn't what matters. In fact, it's the very thing that can destroy you if you let it. So, you can go a little too far with the whole thing too, as far as, the removal and disposal and the air testing and all that other stuff that's required. And just pretty much stick to, what the rules and regulations are and what's the best way to approach them, and having the best guys that are working on these jobs to manage through them. It can be a real challenge for a lot of us, but
well, luckily you have a couple. You've always had a couple of guys that have been very, very good and attentive and seem to really want to work hard for you.
Yeah, that's true. I really do appreciate the fact that they work so hard, and they continue to get their licenses renewed, and they follow a lot of procedures that keep everybody safe from the concerns that we have about asbestos materials. And I think they're pretty good at it. Fortunately, over the years, we haven't had anybody get sick from being an employment of Abtron doing the amount of jobs that they did and are doing. Although today's world, we've been doing mostly what are considered small jobs and not a whole lot of asbestos in the first place. And these, like for floor tiles, it's usually no more than 4 or 5% chrysotile. The rest of it's vinyl compounds, and we run on microtraps and keep everything sealed and wet and picked up and properly vacuum cleaned and getting the air testing done, all the things that we're supposed to do, and the proper disposal of these materials. And when I go to your classes, you remind us that those are the things we should be doing, to protect everybody's health, and not just the workers, but the people in these areas that upstairs or downstairs that come and go with, that they won't be exposed to any of these asbestos fibers. So
Right.
we've been following pretty much what you've been telling us to do, and I don't know, it's been a journey for sure, but
Long journey. You've been doing this how many years? I know you and I have been together since 2001, so that's 24 years, but you've been doing this longer than that.
Yeah, I got involved with this actually, and when was it? Probably I don't know, about 35 years ago. In fact, so yeah, it's really been quite a journey. I'm one of these Vietnam veterans. I came home and looking for things to do, how to make a living. Initially, my mother said, "Go get a civil service job." I got a job took the test for the police department, and then some things popped up that I was accepted because I was a war veteran and everything. But I moved on to different jobs from that, and yeah. So it's been quite a journey. I'm going to be 78 years old in January, and I can't believe that I've gone this far down the road with everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, and now you've designed the business to kind of meet the current situation that you're in. You like you said, you do mostly small jobs, but you actually, in some senses, you started with one of the biggest projects probably out there when you did Roosevelt Raceway.
Yes, we did. It was amazing. I had owned a rock and roll club at the time called Rum Runners in Oyster Bay, and anyway, uh, that place introduced me to a guy that did a lot of work in the city. His father was the head of one of the unions. And, when I sold the club, I had to go into something else. And the girl that was working the door for us came by the new car every time she was coming in to work the door. I go, what do you get all this money for this new car? She goes, my mother's doing asbestos removal. She's a realtor and she's removing asbestos. Now I go, what? I never even heard of that. But that's how I got, tied up with the whole thing. And my friend whose father knew the owner of the Roosevelt Raceway grandstand. I've been in the business now about 4 months. He takes me for a ride up to the guy's office. He goes, oh, so I hear you're an asbestos guy. Oh, okay, He goes, I'm going to give you this job because I'm the owner of that raceway, and I'm best friends with Bobby's father here. But I'm going to want you to tear down the whole raceway too. I'm thinking, there's no way. How the heck am I going to do that? So we walk out of the building, and I go, Bob, there's no freaking way. How am I demo the raceway? I never even demoed a closet. Don't worry, we'll sub it out. We'll sub it out. I got a hold of, and two companies, an asbestos abatement company, and they knew a whole bunch of guys in Jersey that do demo jobs. And they were all Italian, and this looked like something out of the movies, like The Godfather. They showed up down there and go, oh my God, all these guys, I don't want to mess with them. But they got it done, and they knew people politically too, because a lot of people in Nassau County were calling, oh, they're taking asbestos. They're going to contaminate the whole area with asbestos.
Right.
So these guys, they were both professionals, the companies. So we benefited by just subbing it out to them. And but that's how I started this business. It was insane. And I made enough money to help my kids. I got 2 daughters that went to college and got masters, and they're smart like their mom. They have all these degrees and everything else. They're good kids, and I've been very fortunate. So with the years, I got a few calls. I stopped working in the city, though. It became a real challenge. The regulations are over the top, and you make 1 or 2 little mistakes, you're paying 10, 20 grand to somebody and the owner. So, but a lot of companies are very good with it, and they do very well, and they make a lot of money, and they're still doing it. So, and when I come into your classroom, and you on top of your game, man. I think there's only one person as smart as my wife, and that's you. She knows every answer on Jeopardy. Reading constantly. She reads one of these little, I forget what they call them, but they download them and she'll read a novel, 1,000 pages. She'll remember 80%. I read a comic book. I don't even remember something. On one page of it, it's like it blows my mind. I'm not going to it's all good. So.
Yeah, that's great. Like I said, it's just, you had asked why I wanted to interview you is because you have this great story that, with the Roosevelt Raceway, and your company has been a successful company and it basically that it's lasted so many years. It's so over 35 years you've been doing this successfully, and you have slowly but surely designed it to basically meet. Um, I call it when I first opened, I had delusions of grandeur. Right, basically I was going to be the number one consultant, and going to take over the city and everything like that. And but as you age and I like to call it, as you age and as you learn that you don't control the whole situation, and since I'm a control freak, uh, that doesn't work. That's not really in the cards for somebody who's a control freak.
Yeah.
So that you have to adjust your business to what suits you, what makes you comfortable, and how you're going to keep it going for a long period of time.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing that it's been quite a journey, and there's a lot of jobs that I have a lot of fear about, and gee, did it turn out the way I wanted it, and this and that, and I talk to the guys, and then I get a lot of relief when we come into your room and we really take a good look at what all this should be about and how what we're doing, how we're comparing to what you're teaching us, and it's I think that's one of the biggest reasons that I'm still around here. I'm always making sure we're getting air quality testing done. I have good insurance, but I don't want to use it. I don't want somebody telling me I expose them with asbestos fibers.
Right.
I learned things about microtraps and wetting it down and bagging it and proper disposal. You
Right.
know, those things. I tell people don't go in that area till we get the final air test results, and if I don't pass, I'll come right back. I'll re-clean, retest, no extra money to anybody. There's a lot of people, these homeowners, they go, well, we don't want to pay the testing. I go, we're paying the testing company.
Yeah.
And it's a very important part of what I've learned through you telling us, in a way that even I can understand it, which is a challenge to itself. But, yeah, I've had quite a journey over the years, and but it's been overall, I learned I have a lot of fears and a lot of concerns about things all the time, and
Mhm. You
somehow,
got a good crew, though. Your two guys are, I think, fairly reliable. They seem to know their stuff. When they come to our classes, they definitely participate. They definitely pay attention. There's no question in my mind that they should be doing things correctly.
absolutely.
Well, obviously, I'm not there to basically confirm that, but but the fact of the matter is that part of we have to battle for. I think some people is coming to class and basically paying attention to what's going on and doing the best you can. And that's when I one time Leonard Hunter was one of your guys. I talked to him and he was like saying, yes, we go in there, we make sure everything's clean, everything's wet, everything's dry. Once we get the clearance, make sure everything is dry, make sure it's all sealed up properly, and then basically if they're you get the air sampler in, and basically the air samples basically always seem to come out good. So basically that's the full circle. And I always like to say the proof in the pudding is the client. If the client is not complaining, right, the client's going to complain if they go in there and they see a mess. And basically if they don't see a mess, that's what they wanted. That was their goal in the whole thing, was that basically they hired a contractor, uh, you know, and usually it's very rare for you, right, that the customer is the same customer over and over, right? Residential wise, it's usually a new
Yeah,
customer.
leases and homeowners are all different. Yeah,
So basically, I would like to say it's not like some of the more commercial contractors who basically probably have the same customer almost all the time,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And dealing with the same people. You, in your sense, you're dealing with different people every time, so it's harder to make them happy because they're different.
yeah.
And the
They,
fact that you've lasted this long is a testament that you've done a good job of making your customers happy.
absolutely. I get calls. People see my company online out here in Long Island. They go, gee, you have a, I call the homeowners or something. They're all so happy with the work you're doing.
Mm.
And, you know, how clean you left it and everything. And that's, we really take a lot of pride in that. And it gives me relief because I don't want to be called down. I know what these investigators can do to you, and it's not good.
Right.
So, you know, we have a good reputation. It's the exact same way I would do the work, have it done in my own house if I had asbestos. And I know I even tell people, you know, I would probably even be able to walk in without the air test because I know the way that they're removing it. I said
Hmm.
that doesn't mean that I would because you just want to make sure.
Right.
They used to talk about people in the Navy. People, all the Navy guys used to go down into the ships on the bottom there, and they had everything was covered with asbestos.
Right.
20 years later, after they got retired from the Navy, they wound up getting asbestosis, you know, because they were exposed to so much asbestos in those ships, you know.
Yeah.
And, well, you know all the stories because you've told us quite a few of them. And you got some big companies going in there. You know, when I went there, they owned, you know, all the electronics and everything throughout Long Island, and you know, different than another guy is doing these giant jobs in the city, and they're coming to you to you know, discuss about how they should be doing it. So, because if these guys get caught up messing it, they get sued, they get fines, they get everything. You're really keeping it clean for them overall, and it sounds like it anyway. So, and I'm sure they are. You wouldn't be here this long either unless you were doing something right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, I'm glad that I had the opportunity. I got a little nervous about interview. I go,
Well, you, like I said, you have a great story to tell. You're a successful company, which should be highlighted for basically being so successful for so many years, and you do a great service. You know, making sure that you handle the asbestos properly, making sure that the customer is happy at the end, and the customer can have peace of mind that basically the person who came in and removed their asbestos did it properly, and you know, hopefully, you know, they won't be developing any diseases down the road.
yeah, exactly. So,
All
all
right,
right.
Jim. That's that. Thank you. That should be good. I'm going to close out now. In closing, we'd like to thank James Thurston of Abtron for being our guest. Um, so thank you, Jim.
All right. Thank you, Angel. I appreciate it. And I appreciate all your help over all these years, and keep up the good work. You know, you're one of those guys, man. You're on top of the game every which way for sure. So I'm
Thank you.
glad I bumped into you so many years ago. It made a big difference in the way I was conducting my business and my guys working for me. So, all right. That being said, I'm going to jump out and I'm going to go back to work. So, thanks a
Sounds
lot.
good. Take care, Jim.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right. In closing, we'd like again to thank Jim Thurston from Abtron for being our guest. In summation, and obviously a little bit of a love fest there. We both love each other. Obviously, for many years, we've been together since 2001, over 25 years. He's been coming to us for training. Obviously, he gives us a lot of credit, but the credit really is to him. You know, the interesting thing about being a trainer is that we can basically train people and tell them what to do and tell them what the right way to do thing is. But the fact of the matter is that the owner of the company has to take responsibility for the safety of his customers and the safety of his employees. So Jim has been successful because he has been able to realize that to basically do asbestos and be successful with asbestos, you have to do it the right way. All right. So we hope our discussion was helpful, and we look forward to seeing you at a refresher course. Until then, be safe, and thank you for watching After Refresher.